Assalamu alaikum. I thank the Kashmir Institute, the panelists, and all of you present here in the audience for making this event a success, because I think there is a great need to discuss issues which can impact us whether we want or not. Am I audible?
You're not audible.
Should I shout? Well, I think the China-Pakistan economic corridor needs to be discussed in three different perspectives. The first perspective is the global politics perspective. It did not happen just because China and Pakistan were warming up in any sort of friendly relationship. It happened because of the war, the impending war that's going to happen in the South China Sea. As late as February this year, the chief strategist of the White House, Steve Bannon, is on record having said, and I quote, that there is going to be a war in South China Sea, no doubt. That was happening for a long time. China is trying to create artificial islands there. US and its allies are opposing it. Of course, they're opposing it because China's economic influence is growing, and they could be friends, at one place. They're going to be enemies at another place because they are the world powerhouses. So China decided to go further with this one belt, one road project, of which CPEC is the first successful project. It happened because only two countries were involved, Pakistan and China. It's going to help connect Western China, which is lesser developed than the Eastern China, to develop economically. It's going to cut the trade route and lower the costs of inventory holding as well as transportation by about $24 billion a year. It's going to cut the distance by 2,200 kilometers. And it's going to, at the same time, help China offset its carbon emissions, because a lot of its industry is going to be, exported to Pakistan. Let's look at the development that are happening inside Pakistan. I'll be brief, but some things need to be, taken a note of. There are about 15 power projects currently, in the pipeline as a part of the CPEC. And to Small rightly pointed out, it's not a road, or it's not two roads that connect Kashmir with Gwadar and connect Kashmir with Karachi and then connect Karachi and Gwadar. It's much more than that. Out of these 15 power projects, please note, 9 of them are coal-fired. Pakistan, since 1960s, had been trying to develop coal-fired power projects in Thar Parka region. They did not take off, despite their efforts to, get help from the Japanese industrialists and Japanese government. Will first of all impact Jammu and Kashmir, whether we like or not, because the pollution will finally reach us. We were not even spared by the first Iraq war. We are not spared by the industrial pollution, air pollution especially, that happens around Delhi and the neighboring states. We have very clear evidence, science is very clear on this, that our air quality has decreased considerably because of the pollution coming in from other states. We thought earlier we were insulated, but no more. That's one thing, that how we are going to receive the impact of CPEC. Sorry. I think the second more important aspect of CPEC is why was Pakistan so keen to join CPEC? Look at the developments that were taking place again around ASEAN and around SAARC. India was invited to ASEAN. Afghanistan was invited to ASEAN, despite the fact that none of the two countries falls in the geographical region called ASEAN. Pakistan was keen to join ASEAN, but they were never invited, even as an observer. So the two countries both were fulfilling their strategic as well as economic needs by joining CPEC. Where will this lead? The next project that China envisages to complete is the road that runs through some of the states that that kind of declared independence after the disintegration of USSR, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and finally through Iran, and give access to other ports in Iran, which actually combine the Silk Road, the old Silk Road, which is some of the maritime trade routes. So the regional groupings that are going to form out of CPEC will not only be economic, they will have much deeper strategic depth. And we will definitely see the economic interest being protected by military partnerships. There is no doubt about that. China, if it has the capacity to invest in Pakistan, it also would most certainly use its capacity militarily to protect its interests. My last point is about Kashmir's participation. And by Kashmir, I mean where we live, this part of the Kashmir. I think the question as much as like, as long as the sovereignty or suzerainty of deciding this issue is concerned, I think it is a hypothetical question. But if we leave that aside and we talk about what the possibilities could be if all parties agree, I think one possibility already pointed out, it's going to drive up pollution, and we are going to see an impact on our ecologically fragile zones, especially forests and rivers. And then, while we import all this pollution, what are we exporting? What can we possibly export? We can export food. It can reduce the distance enormously if the cross-LOC routes are open. And the second possibility, besides what Mubin Shah pointed out, is energy. Pakistan's industry is also going to grow. They're definitely going to kind of take advantage of this opportunity where there is reliable energy available. The special economic zones might be reserved for Chinese, but there is industry in Pakistan that is looking forward to, grow manufacturing and all that. And they will need a lot of energy. We could most certainly export energy. We have a potential of 22,000 megawatts. Why not? But because it's a hypothetical question, I don't know what is the way out. I think trade leaders might know better. All I know is that cross-LOC trade is still limited. It has not scaled up because we have a positive list of items that we can export, which happens nowhere other than here. You can't trade on a positive list. And then you can't trade without banking. It is still almost about a trade. So I think that serves as an empirical example of what the possibilities are. I will conclude by saying this, that we are definitely going to be impacted. We should look out for our environmental interests. And if that changes, Kashmir's nature will change a great deal. And we should also think about the possibilities of exporting what we can very easily garner from our environmental resources. Thank you so much.